I had bought my dream motorcycle, and I had the best 45 minutes of my life until it was the worst. And on the way home, I wrecked a motorcycle, and I had second and third degree burns all over my hands, my arms, my back, my legs. When I finally did see a doctor, they said, you're not going to have any skin on your hands for 6 to 8 weeks. Titan proved within 3 weeks, I was back to work. I had skin on my hands. I can't thank them enough.
Heart medicine and all this kind of blood pressure. Titan Medical tries to get you off of that stuff.
If you're looking for longevity, health, energy, a better quality of life, good skin, good teeth, go to Titan Medical.
The original conception of Titan Medical Center, we were just going to do male patients. Males, pretty simple, pretty easy across the board. You can get everything adjusted, dialed in, and then they're going to be good to go. So we did a lot of guys in the first couple of weeks, month. And then when these guys started getting the results, that's when their partners would call up and they'd be like, hey, listen, my husband's doing this. Do you guys, treat women? And then we started talking about it. We're like, why wouldn't we treat women with doing this? Women are the highest population more than guys. So at that point, if we don't service women, we're going to be cutting ourselves short here, I think. And a lot of women are going to want this, especially if their husbands are performing, because once the partner gets on, they start feeling better. They have more energy. Libido's probably, skyrocketed.
I've had endometriosis my entire life. I was diagnosed with that when I was 17 years old. It was a huge impact on my life. I mean, there were some days I couldn't even get out of bed because of the amount of pain that I was in. And so, life goes on, 4 or 5 surgeries in, and this is every year, every 2 years, I'm getting a surgery. Nobody could come to the terms of why will it not go away? And it's because, again, back then, unlike now, endometriosis wasn't as studied and they didn't know why people had it. But we're like, let's run the blood test on me and let's see what comes back. So I run the blood test and my estrogens were through the roof. So come to find out after further education and, going through a few things, that high estrogen fuels endometriosis. It just made me that more passionate to be able to help other people that could be going through the same thing I was going through. And nobody was helping them.
Hi.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you. It's good to see you again. I'm Chanel. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here at Titan.
Awesome.
When Jessica Azarilla originally came to us, she wanted to be a Titanette, and that's like our Titan promo team for females. When she came to us, she wasn't in good shape. She was overweight. She had a lot of health problems where we wouldn't even give her any medications because of the different things that happened on the blood test. So she came back and she tried to audition 3 times after that. And then the 4th time, she came back and it was a totally different Jessica. I mean, she started on the therapies with us. She changed her body internally, changed to 100% where it's healthy now, looks really good. Not only has she changed her career, she's changed her body, and she's recovered from some truly bad accidents that some people would not recover from.
I originally started out with getting my blood work done to make sure where my levels were at, because if you're not testing where you start, there's no way to check what your improvement is. I saw something online. What's the copper one? Do you know anything about the GHK?
The GHKCU? Yeah. And we can certainly go over that. I do want to just really quick make sure, because I know you did the healing peptides.
Yes.
So with the injuries and things like that, do you feel like that helped you progress well?
I definitely do, and the doctors did as well.
Now with the GHKCU that you had mentioned, that is a copper binding peptide.
Okay.
So it helps to increase the plasma with the collagen and elasticity, so it can help with fine lines and wrinkles, as well as reducing inflammation, to help with recovery aspects as well, and has some regenerative and healing. I know you had also been doing the CJC 1295 with ipamorelin. Yep. How's everything been going with that therapy?
Pretty good. Yeah, I just started that one.
Okay.
So I haven't.
It does take about 60 to 90 days sometimes to get the full effects, just because you're stimulating that natural production from the pituitary.
Right.
No adverse effects or any issues with it though?
Everything's good.
Perfect.
The therapies that I signed up for immediately, and I've been on them since day one, it was I think the trifecta stack is the trifecta is what they call it, and it is the Titan Complete, the ECA stacks, and the Hercules potion. So those are the 3 therapies that I immediately signed up for, and I've consistently been on them every day for the last 3.5 years.
BPC 157 paired with TB 400. Great healing combination that will like instantly help you restore, refresh, and rehab a lot quicker than traditional rehab does. I haven't taken an ibuprofen in like 3.5 years. I used to live on those things.
I really like, everything that we have to offer because there is something for everyone. And so if you're here looking to lose a couple pounds, or you're wanting to put on lean muscle, or you're just wanting to improve your overall health, wellness, immune system, we have something here for everybody.
Yeah, there's an old term that we use in sports called work smarter, not harder. And going to Titan gave me the opportunity to start realizing I don't need to take 15,000 different pills that may or may not even help me because it's a fad, and this is something that may work for this person, but it may not work for me.
We wanted to make sure that patient care was number one, cutting edge therapy, so different therapies than other places had per se, and then not doing a cookie cutter regimen. So that's what a lot of places do. Like, you have this package, this package, or this package. And it's this price, and this price. And they get the exact same medication. Well, not everybody's the same. So you have to do personalized regimens for some people. Now, there are some different regimens that might work for the masses per se. But you still want to look at everything and definitely want to personalize it. So that was a big thing for us. Personalized regimens, cutting edge therapies, and patient care. Even follow-up. I mean, there's hardly no follow-up. Even if you call a doctor's office today that you're going to, they're probably not going to call you back that same day. With us, you're going to get a call, you're going to get a text, you're going to get a response right away. And at that point, I think that's very important to somebody. There are people out there, they're very nervous about their health, or they're hypochondriacs, at that point, and they want to be reassured this is okay. And, that's what we're there for. So those were the big driving forces. I think being personal and having the patients treat them like family instead of like numbers. If you go to a consultation with us compared to a general practitioner, you're going to get 30 minutes to an hour to be able to sit with a provider and really get your questions answered and to really understand the regimen that you might be getting put on, right? And then hearing maybe if you're doing blood testing, what's going on in their blood and all these different things.
A lot of bodybuilders don't check blood just because either they don't have the money for it or they don't want to know what's going on with their body. So it's kind of like they don't want to face the truth. They don't want to get their blood work done because they know it's going to be bad, whether it's their hemoglobin, blood pressure, kidney function. They know that it's going to be bad, so they'd rather just not deal with it. And a lot of bodybuilders too, what they do is during their prep for competition, they don't want to check it because they know it's going to be bad because they're taking a lot of stuff that they shouldn't be taking. If it wasn't for Titan Medical, I probably still wouldn't get my blood work done. I'd probably still be doing the same things I was before.
Ironically, I had a 32-year-old go check out his blood levels. Now, if you saw this guy, and he actually is on TV and movies, he's a superhero. He's 32. Not one doctor in the world would say, you should go get your blood work done, right? And fully understand visually, but again, you got a shiny car, bad engine, and you don't know that until you do the work. His T level is at 300. And there's not a person, and all these YouTubers and trolls would go on there and go, there's no way it's at 300. Look at how he looks. And he is one of these guys that they go, oh, he's on something. His T level's at 300 and he's 32 years old. That's such a contrast to what society believes.
So when you talk about site-specific injections for peptides, so most peptides, you don't have to inject site-specific, most. BPC 157 is one you're going to want to inject closest to the injured area. So if it's in the shoulder, I'm going to go subcutaneous on top of the shoulder. So that's one. All the rest of them though, you go subcutaneous, right, in the belly area, and you're going to be good to go as far as that goes.
So most of the therapies that I do take are via injection. I love the fact that I can give them myself. So every morning, my Titan Complete, I would take that first thing in the morning, and it's intramuscular. It's a super, super tiny needle. Doesn't hurt at all, but it's just very convenient because I could do it at my own leisure and I don't need to drive somewhere to do it.
A lot of people, I think they have the persona of like when they hear like a needle and they're like, oh goodness, like there's no way I'm going to be able to do this shot. And so some people would go with something that wasn't a needle. They'd go with a cream or a lozenge, and we would always tell them, hey, listen, injection is going to be the best absorbency. You're going to feel the best with an injection. So, we made the tutorial videos and make sure that those go out to the patients and we're readily available, and our providers are readily available for any phone calls that come through that they're like, hey, listen, I just still don't know how to do it. And we can still do that, tutorial even via telemedicine. If they wanted to go through everything that they had and be like, okay, what does this do again? How do I do this again? I mean, because sometimes it could be overwhelming. If you've never done a shot before, that could definitely be overwhelming and incredibly intimidating. So it's our job to make them feel comfortable about what they're doing.
We'd come here and this would be our production studio. This is where we'd make our lives or do different content.
This is a forever evolving industry. So what was happening 10 years ago is not what's happening today. So it's important that we get the education out there. We have people updated, and that's why people will follow. I mean, people aren't even patients, and they'll just tune in because they want education. So they'll be able to ask John questions on there. Sometimes we'll get providers on there. So it's cool to be able to do that.
The one thing I have seen also in the 4+ years that I've been a client of Titan Medical is that they're always looking to get better and see what the newest therapies are and see, because, obviously the FDA regulates and changes in every 2 weeks almost seems like with certain things. These professionals at Titan Medical are equipped not only with knowledge, but they also can make quick decisions on like, okay, this isn't available right now, but we can put you on this and this, and it's still tailored to you, the individual. And that's what I love about like how this is so universally beneficial for everybody.
If you're a person that wants to improve your health and you come to Titan Medical, no matter what your goals are, I can promise you, if you're honest with them and you're honest with yourself, they're going to have something, and you will see results if you follow the course, if you take the therapies, if you do them. It's one thing if you order them, but you got to take them, right? You got to take the initiative. You got to make the phone call. You got to get your blood work done. You got to see what's wrong, right? So I just love the fact that fat, skinny, tall, short, whatever, they'll have something for you.
We're born helpless and need help. As we get older, it starts to reverse and you need help. We especially males, we hit a certain point in our life where our testosterone will stop. You feel lazy, you feel tired, and you just need that extra boost. You need that help. And that's what I needed. And I found it through them. I couldn't thank them enough. Like I said, I'm 54. I don't feel 54. My gray hair says I'm 54, not my being.
Dan's a special case. He came to the office and, he had some hormone imbalances as well. At the time, I know he was going through some stuff with his wife, which was probably attributed to hormone replacement, like hormones being totally off. I mean, because when your testosterone's low and you might not be interested, or, let's say you're tired. I mean, testosterone can affect your energy levels. So when you get home, you're tired. If you're tired, you go sleep. You don't go play with the kids. You go to sleep, or you lay on the couch, or you're being like, it makes you a different person when you actually could do the things that you're capable of doing. So I think we were able to kind of open the blinds for Dan and show him that, he's able to feel better and he can look better, take care of himself, and, maybe, kind of just balance out whatever it was imbalanced in his relationship or his work life or whatever it was.
I want to be able to go out and play with my grandkids when I have them. I want to be able to keep up with my 3 college Division I athletes that are all in school. I want to be walking around looking like the athlete that I am. I want to, number one, live as long as I possibly can live. And 2, be able to actually enjoy the fruits of my labor. I've worked extremely hard to put myself in a position where I can travel and go to different events and go to see my kids play games and take them places and this and that. And I don't want to do that hurting. I don't want to do that tired. I don't want to do that low on energy. I want to do that to the best of my abilities.
Being healthy, there's so many misconceptions of it. And it's unfortunate that people can't even do the basics. It's like, oh, drink your water. It's like, oh, eat your whole foods. Don't eat fast food. Don't eat your processed foods. So I think that I wish more people knew about Titan.
I feel like over the last 10 years, it's become incredibly less of a taboo. I feel like everybody's on some sort of testosterone replacement now. Do I think that it's becoming more aware out there that this is a problem that we're running into? And it's a problem you're not going to be able to avoid, right? You're not gonna say, are you not gonna put on deodorant? No, you're gonna put on deodorant. Are you not gonna wash your clothes? You're gonna wash your clothes, right? Maybe you can, bypass the plastic in the microwave and put your stuff on a plate, right? But I mean, ultimately, you're not gonna be able to bypass these, So I do think it's more people are on the train. I just wish more people were educated about it enough to do it correctly and not end up with negative side effects.
I think the industry in itself is just going to keep growing. I mean, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars in this industry, right? And there's more treatments, more things that are coming out than ever. And people are they're more educated than ever on what they can really get and what they can utilize. So I think the business is going to keep growing for sure, 100%. I don't know if there's going to be more regulation that comes in. I would think that it's going to be less, but I don't know. This could change a flip of the hat. But I think that Titan will just keep growing as far as that goes. We'll be adding more services on, more therapies on. We always have. And I think that, we'll get bigger and bigger as far as that goes until we either want to say, you know what, we're going to give this up and have somebody else take over or whatever it may be. Or like I said, or we just keep growing and we take over every state. That's kind of what it is. But we're just along for the ride, as far as that goes.